Hi everyone, my name is Michael Mora, and I'm going to walk through the code of our project, just the overall layout, and then my group members are going to go more into detail about the other parts. So I'm going to talk about the structure. We use React, Expo, and TypeScript. So you can see we have a React folder here, app folder, we have auth and main. Auth is for authentication, so when we're logging into the app at first, we want to make sure that we're routing users to the right place essentially. We don't want them to go to the main part of the code without being authenticated first. So we'll see that here in the layout TSX. So if they log in and they authenticate fully, they have to go to main, else they have to go to the login. And then we'll see we have different screens for here, for different Firestore features and libraries. And then main's gonna have the different rooms, layouts, manage, etc. Those different features of the thing. So I'll close that for now. We also have index, which is just the initial routing. We have assets, which are pictures, like our Ontario Tech picture. For images, we have our components, which are reusable React components, which can be reused. We use TypeScript here, as we can see by this. We have our buttons that have to be enforced with those types. We have the library, which stores our different library functions, configurations, so like Firebase configurations, maps integrations, things of that nature. We have store.ts, which goes over our main functionality. We have env variables and the env files, so we're not hard coding. So our different API calls, etc., are in the env, and then we call them to the files like that. Node modules, get ignore, and different configuration files, like almost like a manifest, making sure that each of the API keys and such are linked. And then Ayush is going to walk through the Firebase and authentication.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'll talk a little bit more about the Firebase. We'll start off with the firebase.ts file, and then in there is kind of where we initialize the Firebase using the config values pulled from the env file, like Michael said. And then we can talk a little bit about the login.tsx2. Pretty much what that does, it calls the sign in with email and password, or the create user with email and password. And then if you go to the layout.tsx, you'll see that's where we subscribe to the on auth state changed, where user logs in and then the router switches to the main tab navigator, and then when they log out, it routes back to the login stack automatically. And then for the actual Firebase data, you can go to the store.ts. And then that's pretty much where all of our Firebase data lives, right? We define the TypeScript types for the rooms and the reservations. The rooms includes the field values such as amenities, opening hours, and the locations such as longitude and latitude. And then the reservation store start and status, photo URL, and denormalized room details for easy rendering. And then functions like fetch room, observe rooms, observe user reservations, wrap Firestore queries in a reusable way. And then booking creation, like create reservation, checks for conflicts using queries. And then that's pretty much ends that code part. And then going back to the actual Firebase, you can see the authentication page. We have a few users there, and then storage stores all the camera footage. And then the Firestore database has our collections and rooms.
Yep, so for the next part, it's Google Maps integration. Go to our maps.ts. This is again done through the environment file where we have all of our actual API calls. And then our maps folder is what controls our two main views. So we have a live view, which actually shows off like the map and where your location is. And then we have a link view, which actually uses the link to take you direct directions if you're walking there. These locations can be set using the admin file or admin webpage that we also have within the app. And all these things are stored within Room ID.
Okay, and then also in the room we embed these with these different functions. So we're calling maps.ts, and then we're just calling those functions that Sai talked about in here and embedding it. And then we also talk about the camera here.
Yeah, so for the camera, we just have two simple buttons. We have an attach condition photo and a take condition photo. And the general idea is you take the photo when you're done with the room and you'd upload it. And the way the uploading works would send a callback using the image picker, which handles the permission requests, and it would send it to the Firebase storage, and it's in the
storage.
Yeah, storage, yes, yeah. And so the URL to blob just converts it to an XML HTTP request, so that's easier to store on Firebase. And then, you know, it gets stored in a, what was it? It's in the condition photos, yeah, on the Firebase, if you open the
Yeah,
Firebase.
so if you go on Firebase.
Yeah. So when you click the condition photos, it gets stored here, and it gets stored for every request, and then each request has a URL that links back to it, so that it has an absolute like pointer to where the actual picture is uploaded to, and that should be everything for the photos. And yeah,
Yeah,
so
and I think that'll.
this is the video demo that we have.
Yep. So we're gonna walk through show you the video demo. Just gonna write it up. So here we have our main screen. This is our login screen. So we have a preset password. We just log in with Face ID, and the password goes in like that. We hit sign in. This is our main page. So here we have our Ontario Tech theme. We can search. We have a list of components for different rooms. So I search libto2. So we only have two options. So those are the two tables. So we can search. Clear the search. I checked the quiet library pod. As you can see, we have the Google Maps, which Sai was talking about earlier. You can see that it's embedded. We can zoom in, zoom out. We can also hit the open in Google Maps, and we can open our own Google Maps, and you can see it on there. And from there, we can hit directions or whatever, and we can see how to navigate to the location. We also can book a time, that's below there. We can put a purpose, so demo video is this purpose for this video, and this is a pre-recorded video we did earlier. We can change the time, so we can change the time to whatever time in 30-minute increments. So I'll set it to 7:30 here. Awesome, and then we can attach a condition photo, which you was talking about earlier, which you go to your own photo library, or you can take a condition photo using your camera. So take a picture of the camera and then upload it, which we was talking about earlier, and it gets stored as a URI and also in our Firebase storage. So then we can reserve the room, get confirmation, and then we can see that it's upcoming. We also can go to our bookings tab in a second. And then we can see all of our upcoming bookings. We can go ahead and cancel this as well. So if we hit the big red cancel button, we'll cancel this booking here. And then it's canceled. We also can see our list of our history. So there's our this is per user, it's the canceled room history. Then we're gonna go ahead and go to the profile section in a second. Oh, yep. So I'm just looking at what history I have and such like that. And we can see that once I deleted or something, it's been gone. We can go to the admin side, so profile and admin. We can manage rooms here. So we can do CRUD, create, read, update, delete. So I can go to the campus library or whatever different room. I can edit it and save it. We need to enforce admin constraints on these routes later, but again, this is in progress. We'll be doing that in the future. So here I'm gonna go ahead, look at this. You can see all the information, like fields, which Ace was talking about earlier, and the maps location, which Sai was talking about. And then we can go ahead and we can delete the room just to show you a live update of CRUD. And then when I go back to browse, we'll notice that we only have 4 rooms instead of 5 now, and that one is gone, meaning that it was deleted. And then that's essentially the whole application demo. I've signed out. Thank you for listening.